Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean with Effective English. I've been thinking about making video like this for a long time because I really wanted to share so that you can learn how to approach learning English the way I did, and hopefully that will help you to learn English much faster and much in organic way. So I thought I should share with you today like the language and the words that I use in the business world. And hopefully that will help you to do more business in your own field. So I just picked about a dozen or so the words that I see quite often in the business setting, whether it's building business like real estate like mine. Some of the big thinkers out there. I follow this, the podcast Tim Ferriss. He interviews a bunch of high performing individuals in every field, and some of these words always come up. So, by the way, if you're looking for a very high intelligent, the business mindset or personal development type of thing, I highly recommend Tim Ferriss's podcast. It's a Ferriss, I think. So let's take a look at some of the words that I picked today for business words and phrases. So there's some words, there's some phrases, and there's some words that have a lot of like compact meanings of different things. So I would do the icebreaker the next time. Coffee, let's do lunch. I'm gonna skip that right now. I want to focus more on the think outside of the box, leverage, strategy, market share, potential, downsizing, outsourcing, R&D, market, investment, logistics, networking, merger, stats, scalable, and business plan. Let's see if I can cover all of these words today. So the think outside of the box. Let's talk about that first. So this is basically coming up with some creative way to think or solve the problems outside of the box. So it's kind of like you go outside of what the way we think to fix that problem. Normally we're here, but if you step outside of that box, then you can actually see from, let's say, like 10,000 feet view. Then you may get a different point of view to be able to fix the problem. So I googled thinking outside of the box right there, right? Thinking outside the box and the page, and I go to these images because I think images are so powerful to be able to conceptualize and learn words and things like that. So for example, that picture right there, there's about 20 people thinking inside of the box with the conventional thinking. Some say status quo, and this guy is outside of the box. He's walking around looking at different things and be able to think something more creative, more original, because he's outside of the box, because he gets different point of view. And this is kind of like this too. I mean, everybody's looking inside of their boxes, meaning their like concepts, their understanding, their beliefs. And once you get out of your own belief system, and that's actually a good one. That's pretty much like how you should look. The rest, I'm not sure. Let's go back to this one. I really like this one. Where, like I said, there are five people. Four of them are thinking inside of the box, meaning you're only limited to what you know, which is your box. But when you break out of your box, that's like the thinking outside of the box. That's a really good term. It's very creative, very what's the word? Encouraging to think creatively. Think creatively. Let's talk about the leverage. Now, leverage is used in business setting quite a bit. And I just signed up with this picture sharing. There's no there. These pictures are basically free to use, which is called pixabay.com. I'm not getting paid for this or anything like that, but I just signed up to use the pictures without any copyright issues. So the leverage. What is leverage, and how do you use that in the English like business setting? So these aren't quite leveraged the way I'm looking at it. This is more like scale, maybe. When you think about the leverage, let's look at leverage. It's more of something that a tool that makes you do more than without it. So for example, you wouldn't be able to move an object, but when you use a leverage, you can actually move that object. Let me see if I can find a good one for you to understand. There's some, I see. Give me a right leverage and I will move the world or earth. Let's try world. There's some philosopher who said, give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum. Oh, I don't know this word. We'll look that up together. On which to place it, and I shall move the world. Archimedes. Let's take a look. Fulcrum. So when I see words that I don't know, I just basically select that and I look up fulcrum. Important thing here is to look up in English explained dictionary. Don't use your native dictionary that translates English into your native language, because then you'll never learn to think in English. So always use just English to English dictionary. That's really important. I'm going to talk about that every time I make a video, so you don't do it. So here's a bad example right there. Korean English, because I'm Korean, they know, and they basically put this thing. Yeah, right now I'm okay. I mean, it just gives you one more point of view that I could use it. But really important to understand in English to English, the point on which a lever rests or is supported, on which it pivots. So that's a really bad one. Let's actually look at one of my favorite dictionaries. It's Merriam-Webster. I think this dictionary is really good. The explanation of it, you can actually hear the fulcrum, the pronunciation as well when you click this. Let's see.
Fulcrum.
Fulcrum. So the definition of a fulcrum is a prop, specifically the support about which a lever turns. One that supplies capability for action. So now I think I get it. The support about which a lever turns. So let's go back to that one right there. That triangular shaped thing. That's fulcrum. I actually learned that word for the first time, believe it or not. So nowadays I get to learn like brand new word that I don't know the meaning of. Maybe half a dozen times a week in day-to-day situation, which kind of excites me at times. Let's see. Leverage. I hope that spending time like this with you in English will give you a way of thinking in English, and at the same time for you to spend some time in English mind world, because I feel like I have two different sections of brain, one in Korean and the other one in English. So most of the days I'm staying on this side, in English side. When I meet a Korean person, I gotta quickly switch over to the Korean side so I can actually think and talk in that sense. If I try to translate that, going back and forth, if I did that, I wouldn't be able to speak in English the way I wanted to speak. And I think that's one of the other important fact, number two, that you stay on the English side of the brain. It's super important. I'll make a different video about this, but so don't use translated dictionary, and stay on the English side of the brain. Gosh, I think it's been about 5-10 minutes. I'm not sure if I can cover all of this today. I was hoping to cover this in like 20-minute videos, because who want to watch more than 20 minutes? These pictures aren't. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. So yeah, with this rock, if you don't have this lever and fulcrum, there it is, the new word that we just learned. If we don't have the lever and fulcrum, we wouldn't be able to move this rock, like tip it over like this. But because we have fulcrum and a lever, we can actually move this big rock with one person's power by pushing this downward, right? And this is called the leverage, using leverage. Let me think of an example. So let's say here's an example sentence. John has a good look, very handsome, which is a leverage that he can use in day-to-day businesses. And he gets to sell more products because he has a good look. He's very handsome. And that is his leverage in order to do more business. That's a leverage. Yeah, that's a pretty good example, I feel. Let me know if it's not. What else? When you have a big capital, when you have a big assets, or when you have a huge pile of cash, that's a leverage. For example, in the real estate world, when you have to get financing, you're not going to be able to possibly negotiate the price down more. But if you're making a cash offer, that's a leverage, because there's a potential that you can actually make a lower price offer for the benefit of quick closing, and there's no appraisal. I mean, I'm kind of going into more the real estate side of it, but that's what I know. But cash is considered as leverage, I think. Let's move on. This is kind of getting boring. I hope you guys are sorry about that. What is this? So let's move on to the next one. Strategy. Man, I think these words are pretty deep with the meanings, and there are a bunch of different situations and things like that. I need to prepare myself better than this. So let's just stop right here. We learned I should say, I'm learning too. So, but we learned together thinking outside of the box, and leverage, and fulcrum. See if I can spell the fulcrum. Let's see. Fulcrum. I think that's right. Oh yeah, there's no red lines under the word. So fulcrum, thinking outside of the box. Let's use some of the examples in sentences. Like, the teammate in the meeting or in the phone call, in the Zoom call, they say, let's think outside of the box, meaning we are stuck here just thinking conventionally and we're not really finding a good answer. So let's think outside of the box. Let's go outside of our comfort zone. That's another word. Let's write down comfort zone. Let's go outside of our comfort zone, meaning similar to thinking outside of the box. I think a little bit different feeling too, but in the business setting, it could be similar meanings. So there's another one. So, and then leverage, fulcrum, and a lever. Yeah. So hopefully this gave you a opportunity for you to stay in English side of the brain and thinking in English, and be able to pick up a few words or phrases that used in the business setting quite a bit. And let me know if you have any questions about this, and leave a comment so I can make better videos than this one for the future. So, cheers. See you next time.